My boyfriend says finishing in me is a deal breaker. Now he's sobbing with his eggplant out because I dared to suggest protection. I, 21F, have had an IUD for the entire time my boyfriend, 26M, and I have been together, and it has caused me nothing but problems with my hormones, severe cramping at random times, and an extremely irregular period. Since I've had an IUD the whole time we've been together, I have always let him and wanted him to finish in me during intimacy. Now that I'm getting my IUD removed, and it is recommended not to be intimate for a week before the removal to prevent pregnancy, my boyfriend and I have been arguing about it nonstop. I have a very high sex drive, so does he. So I've been asking to still be intimate, with protection, or at least for him to pull out. And he says no, which is fine. But he stated that the reason he's saying no is that I'm breaking a boundary because he needs to finish in me. And by not letting him finish in me, I'm hurting him. He's upset because I keep trying to initiate intimacy but insist on using protection, which he doesn't believe in using. Last night, we got into another heated argument about this, and I went outside for a walk to take a breather. When I got home, I guess he didn't hear me come back in because when I walked into our room, he was crying with his eggplant out and watching adult content. For context, watching adult content is something I've never been comfortable with, and he promised me he doesn't do it. The more I think about it, I feel like this is his way of getting back at me for breaking his boundary. Now, I do feel bad because I kept asking since I've been super aroused, and he told me it's a no unless he can finish in me, but I keep pressing him on the topic. Still, I feel like he's being unreasonable, and it's like, well, what are we going to do once my IUD is out? I guess we'll never be intimate again. Edit, I feel really foolish right now. After reading everything you all are saying, I'm going to talk to him tonight once he's off work, and I'll update later. Edit 2. After talking to my girlfriends and reading everyone's comments here, I've decided that I'm definitely going to break up with him tonight. He gets off late tonight, and I'll update as soon as I can. Update 1 day later. First of all, thank you all for the support. I tried to read almost every message and comment, but there was a lot, so it's hard. Some of you thought I was super naive, and I feel like I needed to just hear the truth straight up. After posting and reading, I decided to end it pretty quickly. Just for some context, our relationship, other than this situation, honestly hasn't been great either. We're different races, and his parents don't accept me. He has strict Asian parents. He's extremely childish and immature, spends all day playing video games, and we constantly argue. The only thing that was good about our relationship was the physical intimacy, and now that that's gone because of how he's acting, there's truly nothing good left in it. The plan was to break up with him as soon as he got home from work. Of course, today was the day that he was staying late at his job, and I just wanted to get it done and over with because it was eating me up inside. When he finally got home, he just ignored me, and part of me wanted to ignore him back and not deal with it, but I knew what needed to be done. So I went to our room where he had been since he got off work. He was playing video games, and I told him that we needed to talk, which he rolled his eyes at. You guys said to be as direct as possible, so I told him that I was breaking up with him because he's manipulative and childish. Immediately, you could see the change in his face from smug to scared. He asked if I was seriously going to throw everything away because of a disagreement, and I told him it was bigger than that. He said if I wanted to leave him because I couldn't fulfill his needs, then to go right ahead. So I turned around to leave, and he said, wait. This is where I lost it. All the last months boiled over, and I said how manipulative and disgusting he was, all because he couldn't finish in me for a little while. That he was a child, and if he couldn't figure out how wrong he was at 26, then there was no fixing him. I also told him how pathetic he was for putting on such a show by crying while watching adult content just to try to make me feel bad. He said it wasn't a show. He just was upset that we were fighting all the time, and he happened to be watching it. He also doubled down by saying that finishing in his woman is important and brought up his boundaries again. I told him how much nonsense that is and that he can't set boundaries on my body. We were both crying a lot. He then admitted that he acted this way to deter me from taking out my IUD. After that, I left to go to my parents' house. He's tried calling and texting, all apologetic now, but I don't feel the need to ever talk to him again.